Hi, I'm with Badger Basket, here to go through the assembly instructions for the Elegance Round Baby Bassinet with bedding. Before we get started, make sure you look at all the parts and pieces included. If you're missing anything or have any damaged parts, please contact Badger Basket as shown in the end of the instructional video. Also, before getting started, make sure to inspect the bassinet body once removed from packaging. You'll see some screws here on the top and also some on the bottom. Make sure to look these over and ensure that these are all tightly put into place. Make sure not to over tighten these screws. So let's get started. For step 1, you need part A, the bassinet body. You need 8 of part I, the short bolts, and 4 of part K, which are the L brackets. So for this demonstration, I am going to be using a drill to make things go a little faster. If you choose to use a drill, make sure you have the torque setting set on low so you don't strip any of the pieces. Otherwise, feel free to use a hand Phillips screwdriver. For this first step, what we're going to be doing is putting the L brackets onto the bottom of this part A, the bassinet body. When you look at the bottom of the bassinet body, you're going to see these holes in all 4 corners that are paired. Now this is where the L brackets are going to be placing. What you're going to want to do is take the L bracket and you're going to put them onto these 2 holes like this, with the upside going towards the outer edge. So you're going to have one here, and then this one, for example, is going to be facing like this, where the edge that is going upward is towards the outer side, like so. And we're going to repeat the same thing on that side. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be screwing from the top going down into all these brackets. So let's get all 4 of these L brackets put into shape. For step 2, you need 2 of part B, which are the end panels. You need part D, the shelf, 2 of part C, which are the rails, and 4 of the long bolts, part J. So for this step, what we're going to be doing is taking the side panel and we're going to be putting the rails onto each side. We're going to be putting the shelf into place and then the other side panel. This is going to create the base of the bassinet. When looking at the side rail, you're going to see these metal inserts here. We want these facing outward. So this, on the opposite side, is where the rails are going to be coming off. When you're looking at the side panel, have it so it looks almost like a T, where you have these longer pieces on top. You're going to see that there should be 2 holes here, which are where the rails are going to come off from. The other side, or the incorrect side, only has the 1. So it's another way to know you're coming off the correct side. When looking at the side rails, you're going to see on the very ends a wooden dowel and then the hole for the bolt. What you want is you want the wooden dowel up towards the top and the hole for the bolt at the bottom. Now when you're putting it coming off the side panel, you want to make sure you have this groove on the rail facing towards the middle, towards the other rail. So this rail, for example, you'll have the wooden dowel on the top, the hole for the bolt on the bottom, and again, that groove facing towards each other like so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first insert in this wooden dowel into this top hole here, push it firmly into place. We're going to take the bolt from the opposite side, going through that metal rail, and then we're going to screw it into place. And I'm going to repeat the same thing with the other side. Next, what we're going to do is I'm going to tip it down on its side, and we're going to be putting the shelf into place. Now you're going to want the white side facing upwards towards this piece so that you can see the shelf. Now what you're going to do is you're going to put this shelf into those grooves, and you're going to slide the shelf down all the way as far as it can go, so that it should have the white side facing up like this. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to be putting on the opposite side panel. So repeating the same thing, you're going to take these 2 holes here, This one is going to be meant for the wooden dowel, just essentially repeating the same thing we just did and putting in those opposite bolts. And we'll put in those 2 last bolts and get those screwed down into place. For step 3, you need 4 of part G, which are the wheels, 4 of part H, which are the wheel bolts and knobs, and 8 of the I short bolts. So next what we're going to be doing is putting the legs onto the bassinet body. When you look at the legs, you're going to be looking for these 2 posts here, and we're going to be turning this upside down onto the bassinet body. Now what you want are these legs here to go on the outside of these L brackets on both sides. So you're going to make sure they're on the outside like so. Then you're going to take these bolts here and you're going to screw from the inside going towards the outside. So there should be 2 on each of these legs and then 2 again on each of these on both sides. So let's get these screwed into place. Next, what we're going to be doing is putting the wheels onto the bottom of the bassinet. You're going to see these wheel bolts and these knobs that are already put together. You're going to want to detach them, so unscrew the bolt from the knob to get them separated. What we're going to do is we're going to put these wheels onto all 4 corners and align them with these holes here. Now what's really important is you'll see on these wheels that one side has a square hole and one side has a circle hole. This is really important when you're putting the bolt into place to make sure that's tightened properly. What we're going to want to do is put the square hole to the inside of the bassinet and the circle hole to the outside. So we're going to put this down, and then on the inside is where we're going to be putting the bolt going through. Now if you look closely at the bolt, you'll see right under the head of the bolt there's a square kind of structure under that head. That's what's going to be going into the side, and you need to make sure that square gets into that square on the wheel. So we're going to push this bolt all the way through from the inside going out, and then make sure it's all the way in so that that square goes through the square on the wheel. Once you have the bolt as far as it can going in, you're going to take the knob and you're going to tighten it as far as you can on the other side. So you'll have the knob tightened in place. So we're going to repeat that with all 4 corners. Again, the square hole going to the inside, the circle hole going to the outside, putting the bolt on the inside going to the outside, making sure to get that square piece into that hole, and then taking the knob and tighten it all the way into place. Step 4 serves as a safety checkpoint to ensure the bassinet is assembled correctly at this point for the safety of your infant. Make sure to go back and check that all the bolts are properly tightened. For step 5, you need part M, the fabric bumper, part F, the canopy frame, and part E, the curved canopy pole. Next, what we're going to be doing is assembling the canopy off the bassinet. When looking at the bassinet body, you're going to see one spindle that is metal. This metal spindle will have 2 holes on one side and 1 hole on the other. This is where the canopy is going to be coming out from. So first we're going to take the curved canopy pole, and one side you're going to see a metal pin. This is the side that's going to go down into this metal spindle. So you need to push in this metal pin, and you need to push it down into this metal spindle down below. Now this is height adjustable. You can go either the upper hole or the lower hole, but just make sure that that metal pin is going into one or the other. So you can always push it in, and you can go lower if you would like. But again, make sure that you see this metal pin. Next, what we're going to be doing is putting in the canopy frame. Now when you look at the canopy frame, you're going to see the two spindles here. These need to go into the metal pole of the canopy. And you need to make sure that these are pushed down as far as they can possibly go. So make sure that you push them down as far as they're able to go. Next, what we're going to be doing is inserting the fabric bumper. Now when you're looking at the bumper on the decorative side, you're going to see that there's these hook and loop tape loops that are going around the outer edge. If you keep spinning it, you'll eventually get to a point where you see two of them that are closer together than the rest. These two are going to be in the back towards this canopy pole. They're actually going to go on both sides of the canopy pole. So what you're going to do is you're going to detach this. You're going to go around this pole here and then reattach it like so. And I'm going to do the same to the other side here. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to tie a nice decorative bow. Now you'll see some spots that don't have these loops. It's just merely the ribbon. At that point, you're just going to tie a decorative bow around this pole here, around these poles going around the bassinet body. If you see one that has the loop, again, detach it, go around the spindle, and then tie the bow. So we're just going to go around the whole bassinet body and put this all into place. For step 6, you need part N, the mattress pad, and part O, the fitted fabric sheet. For this step, what we're going to be doing is first putting the fitted sheet over the mattress pad. So you're going to see one side that has a little elasticity. We're going to put that around the whole edge. And make sure you get it around the whole mattress pad. Like so. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put this in the bottom of the bassinet body, making sure that it's all as far down as it can go, all the way down. And I'm just kind of pulling up here on this bumper to make sure that it's not pulling it down with it. For step 7, you need part L, the fabric skirt. Next, we're going to be putting the fabric skirt onto the bassinet body. When you look at the bassinet body, you're going to notice this grip tape going along this lower edge here. What we're going to do is we're going to line the skirt along this whole grip tape going around the whole base of the bassinet body. Now when you're looking at the fabric skirt, you're going to see the two ends. Make sure you find the end that has the grip tape on both sides. So one side being the softer side and one side being the rougher side. The rougher side should just be a short stretch here, and we're going to have that facing outward. So the softer side is going to be going in towards the bassinet body, and then we're going to trace it along the whole base of the bassinet. So I like to start at the back where the canopy is here, and we're just going to firmly kind of push this in here. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to trace it along this whole bassinet body lower edge here. Now you'll get back to the point where you started, which is where this is going to attach into that little section of that grip tape that we left sitting out or facing outward. So we're going to keep going, and then we're going to put this end right into this section here. Firmly push that into place. And it should be all attached along the entire bassinet body. For step 8, you need part P, the fabric canopy. Next, what we're going to be doing is putting the fabric canopy over the canopy poles. So when looking at the fabric canopy, you're going to see a spot that kind of has this oval-like shape. That's going to be going onto this canopy here, this canopy frame, with the opening to the front so that it kind of drapes over the bassinet body. Now you're going to want to center it onto this canopy frame, like so. Now in order to hold this canopy fabric onto this frame, we're going to pull up in the corners here, and you're going to see these loops on both of these sides. So you're going to find this loop here where it's going to have the grip tape. So we're going to detach it here. We're going to go around the canopy frame and then push it back together. And then we're going to repeat on this side. So we'll pull up in this corner. We're going to find that loop, detach, and reattach around this frame here using that grip tape. Step 9 serves as another safety checkpoint to make sure that everything is properly put into place. Check all of the hardware to make sure everything is fully tightened, and then carefully review the safety information on pages 2 to 4 in your instruction manual. And that concludes the assembly for the Elegance Round Baby Bassinet with bedding. Remember, if you have any questions or concerns, to please contact Badger Basket as shown in the next clip. Badger Basket thanks you for watching, and enjoy.